Hello everyone. Welcome to the C episode of Debugging TV Frames program. You can type your questions during this episode. If I can't answer particular questions now, I then post answers on the website debugging.tv. I quickly discuss some topics, such as on this list. First of all, I'd like to show you the project in Xcode. We create two threads. The first thread and the second thread, and you see both of them are supposed to be crashing because you see null pointer assignment, null pointer dereference. The idea for this project came to me because I started to test various crash dump analysis patterns on Mac OS X. And the first pattern for Windows was multiple exceptions. If you look at its source code, in Windows I also created two threads and both of them crashed upon start because of null pointer dereference, null pointer access violation. So I created the same program and it in Xcode, and of course it crashed. And you know, on Mac OS X you have console diagnostics. I think it's in utilities, and you have console top right. So console diagnostics shows that thread number 2 crashed, shows exception type. So we see three threads. The first one, thread number 0, is main function. Then you see thread 1 and thread 2. But console diagnostics only reported thread number 2 crashed, as you see here. It also shows you register CPU state as well. So now we try to do the same to analyze crash dump using GDB. The crash dump was pre-created. So we run GDB, provide image, and then provide a crash dump for command line, and then let's run a few commands. So first of all, info threads. Gives you quick list of threads and the top stack trace, backtrace function for each thread. You can also type in for threads all threads and backtrace. This is equivalent you see for just info threads, but if we specify full bt full backtrace, so we get that's a bit more. Let's double check. Yeah, there's if we want to see full stack trace, we need to type this command. So thread apply all bt full. So then we get all stack traces. But you see that threads are shown here in reverse order. First you have thread number 3, 2, then 1, but in console diagnostics you see them in reverse order. Shows first main thread and then 2 other threads, but in GDB you see first you see threads and then the main thread. So we know that console diagnostics reported thread number 2 crashed, but thread number 2 is actually core thread 1. Actually, here thread starts from 0, so thread number 2 corresponds to thread number 3. Let's see. So thread number 2 or thread 3 crashed. So we need to check this thread. So here we can switch between threads, just supplying the number. For example, thread 1, now main thread, thread 2 is what we are interested in. So you see thread 2 also stopped as at null pointer dereference, as well as thread number 3, the one that was reported in console diagnostics. And so we switch to the other thread that was not reported, and if we disassemble this address, actually invalid number. So we see this address is null pointer dereferencing, so we try to dereference RDI register, use its contents as memory address and move one here, one there. But in fact, the value of the register was 0. So here I showed you how to navigate threads and find additional problem exceptions that might not be visible by inspecting diagnostic reports. And as usual, I put everything on slides. Crash report and then DDB output. So then, as usual, there is a ban-ad command. So some new stuff is coming. In June, there will be, on June 22nd, there will be a free webinar, Introduction to Pattern-Driven Software Diagnostics. And the training that was previously called Accelerated Software Trace Analysis is now renamed to Accelerated Windows Software Trace Analysis to make it more focused on Windows topics. So thank you for watching this episode. Please later check out the slides and recorded video from debugging.tv. And the next episode is scheduled for 4th of May. Due to training sessions, I'm not able to do episodes, so the next one is for 4th of May. If you have any questions, please ask now. Otherwise, thank you very much again for attending, and see you in May. Okay, there is one question. Are sessions still available for upcoming training? Yes, of course, you can register anytime, even 15 minutes before training. Just one note that I usually, just one day before, I send training materials such as memory dumps and some PDF materials for training. So basically, if you register just half an hour before training, then you probably spend some time downloading crash dumps. So that's the only problem. But all trainings, I all send PDF materials after training again. So you are very welcome to register anytime. So there are still available seats. For a webinar about software diagnostics, there is another question. I haven't yet created the link. I post the link later on, either on memory dump analysis services, or I also, when I put this PDF file on debugging.tv, I also include the link later on. Okay, thank you all again for attending, and see you in May. If you still have some questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I keep this debugging.tv session open for another 15 minutes, but I leave. And if you have any questions, I later post them on debugging.tv. Bye-bye.